Hello, Taurus, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and I have a cold. That's why my voice sounds so bizarre, or at least very low. And I apologize, but if I don't record this video today with my voice sounding like this, these won't be the May Tarotscopes, so we're going to persevere. I've got some tea and lozenges here. So before we get into it, let me just remind you these are intuitive general readings. So I'm reading for a general audience. It's not quite a one-to-one reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. And I invite you to check out the videos for your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. We've got the Curious Travels tarot deck here this time, and we're also using the Familiar Field Oracle deck. So I am going to go ahead and shuffle, but if you've been here before, you know that I like to fast forward over the shuffling part, so I will catch up with you as we start to lay out the cards. See you in just a second. Okay, Taurus, let's see what the tarot has. The King of Wands, the World. And the World did jump out while I shuffled, so I'm not surprised to see the World show up here. And the Four of Cups and the Two of Wands. Okay. Let's get everybody in frame here. Just going to adjust the lighting because we've got a little glare here. I think that's a little better. And let's pull a card from the Familiar Field Oracle. Oh, let's see. Oh, sorry here. It's zebra. Uniqueness, expression, resistance. Let's get that. Okay. So generally, the zebra has to do with sort of nonconformity, being unique, not being sort of swayed by society's norms. And I think I want to go through the tarot first, and we'll see how sort of zebra spirit fits into the rest of the reading. So starting with the Two of Wands here, and let's get this in focus. There we go. The Two of Wands indicates a time when you're doing some plotting and planning. I read the card that falls into this position as sort of the general theme for the month. This isn't the only thing that's going to happen for you in May, obviously, but this particular reading is about sort of plotting and planning. There's something new that you're developing or something that you're working on. It could be a creative project, as typically wands are associated with ambition or something that you are passionate about. It can be a career thing, or it can be a hobby that you're pursuing either outside of your sort of day-to-day gig. It could be, like a community theater play or something that you do that fulfills you, that you just can't get from the workplace, right? Or it could be something that you do that you get to do now that you're retired or something. Or if it's if you're a student, it could be something that you're planning sort of your course of study to move towards, to help you move towards your career path, like maybe moving closer towards your mentorship or something like that. But it's plotting a course towards something that fulfills you, that feeds sort of your ambition or feeds your talents, or something that fulfills you. It's always hard to say because people can take this the wrong way, but feeds your ego in a good way. Sometimes people associate their ego as like that's something bad, but your ego can be a good thing, right? Just because we have egos doesn't mean we're egotistical. Like sometimes we need our egos to be fed. Or we want to be known as talented, or as specialists in a particular field, or having talents in a particular field. That's what the wand suit typically has to deal with. So there's something here that you're starting, or you're creating, or you're plotting, planning. Plotting sounds almost sinister. It doesn't necessarily have to be something like that, but making plans, taking steps, strategizing towards, goal setting is probably a better way to say that. There could be a piece here about travel as well. For those of you who aren't planning a career piece, this could be planning travel. There could also be planning an event. For those of you who aren't planning some sort of career piece, it could be event planning as well. But you'll know, it'll be different for different Taurians. You'll know what that is for you, right? The next card we see here is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is typically a mature person. It could be a male. It doesn't have to be. But this would typically be a mature person in a position of authority. Could have a job for you, or it could be someone like a boss or a mentor, an agent, somebody that has advice, or this could be a director or a coach. This could indicate, for some Taurians, a new boss, a new coach, a new director, a new mentor, something like that. This is a charming leader, someone you could learn a lot from. And I think for some of you, there might be a piece where this person puts you in a leadership role as well, or you might learn like leadership skills from this King of Wands. Take that as it resonates. But this is a charming leader who's very good at listening to people around them, but still maintain sort of authority. He's like, I'm saying he, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a he. But this would be like that fun boss that like you like to work for, but is the boss, right? And it seems like you may get a chance to either get some sort of promotion or be put in take on a project, or, flex your muscles in terms of being put in a supervisory role of some kind. Or this King of Wands may trust you with with a key position. Okay, I'm going to move off from that for now. And as I mentioned, the World card did pop out when I was shuffling. And let's get that in focus. And now the World card indicates a time when there's kind of the close of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So it makes sense as you're kind of planning this new phase here in this Two of Wands. So you're starting something new. Maybe you've got a new job, or a new role with a new boss or something like this. And you're closing out a new cycle and beginning a new chapter. I used to do readings. I don't do parties and one-on-one readings anymore, but when I used to do them, I used to do like parties and things, and I did baby showers, and the mother-to-be always got the World card, because that's a card that always comes up with big sort of milestone changes. Like when you go from being like a person who's only in charge of yourself to becoming a mother who's now in charge of another whole human being, that's really typifies what this card gets to. Or like when you get married, or when you graduate from high school or college or anything, really. It's a major milestone. So the World card indicates there's some sort of milestone or some sort of chapter change in your life, and it'll be different for different Taurians. So take it as it resonates with you. But there's something certainly to celebrate, and it might not be as significant as giving birth to another human, but certainly there's some kind of shift or change or ending, new beginning, that with it indicates some sort of like a graduation, or some kind of change like that. And that means that there's some kind of new beginning. That maybe means you'll be learning some new skills, or exploring some new vistas. Or with life's milestones, there's a certain kind of wisdom that you've gained, and then you move into a new phase where there's new lessons to learn. So there may be newness on the other side of this, I suppose is what I'm trying to say here. But certainly something to celebrate, that you've advanced or certainly arrived. How about that? Now, it's interesting that we land here on the Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups suggests a time when it feels like you're stagnant, and maybe you didn't recognize that you've moved through this graduation or this milestone moment, and instead it just feels stagnant to you. But something new is coming, and let's take a look at this. That's the fun part of the Four of Cups, is in every depiction, there's a character who's kind of sitting there looking a little bored, and right behind the character is another cup on offer. The central character is kind of looking off at these cups that they've already drunk from, and they seem glum or disappointed or unfulfilled. But just behind them, there's another cup coming into the picture. And so something for you is about to come into the picture. So if you hadn't recognized, this milestone, if you had just been feeling things were a little stagnant, the truth of what's going on is that you've hit a sort of graduation point, and something new is coming. So let's tie this all together with this zebra energy. Let's get zebra in focus here, because zebra reminds you not to worry about society's norms, to go ahead and be uniquely you, to be your true self, and to express yourself. And so whatever decisions you're making, whatever plans you're making, be sure to be true to yourself, right? And that goes along with the position or the role, or whatever you're hammering out with your coach or your mentor, or your new boss, or this King of Wands character. I hope you can see it through the glare here. Whoever this mentor or agent is who has a job or a role for you, to be true to yourself as you're going to be moving on or moving to the next phase. And even if it doesn't seem like it now, there's some sort of breakthrough moment or graduation moment, and something new is just about to be on offer, and it's going to be bubbly and exciting. So drink up. Cheers. So there we have it, Taurus. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for dropping by as I fiddle with the cards. Thank you so much for dropping by. If you enjoyed this reading, I hope you'll consider giving it a like, a share, subscribe. In any case, take good care. Until next time, bye for now.